430 to 465.
Nice. Yeah. And then did you source it through your direct dialing for dollars or texts or?
Came through my SEO website.
Beautiful. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's good news. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's nice to have it right in your backyard too, as opposed to having to go find it around the country.
Right. Yeah.
That's awesome. Cool. We might ask you more about that in a bit.
Sure thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. Who else can we pick on? Alex Ibarra. How are you, sir?
Doing good. Ready to learn.
Right on. So what you got going on? You get any deals this week?
We have a lead over in Kihei that we're looking at.
Nice.
Potentially. Gotta come down. Gotta do a little more negotiating on it, but we're close.
That's awesome. So how'd you source it?
This was from a wholesaler.
Okay.
A wholesaler brought it to us. Yeah.
So a wholesaler brought it to you, and then you like it, so you're checking it out. Condo?
No, it's actually a house. It's like a 1,900 square foot house on like a 10,000 square foot lot. It's got like a pool, hot tub. It's got like some good value adds. Just we have to check and see what the condition of it all is. I haven't walked through it yet, so we got to go and do some due diligence.
Yeah, that's a great area, and the market there is super strong right now. So
yeah,
that's great. You actually have time to think it through. You don't have to lock it up right away.
No, I mean we're gonna want to jump on it relatively soon because it's not gonna last forever. But so hopefully we send our numbers back to the wholesaler where we need to be at, and if if we get the green light, then we'll jump in there and make sure that everything looks good on inspection and everything.
That's awesome. Right on. Congratulations. Keep us up.
Yeah, thanks.
Would you hold it and then flip it, or are you guys going to do a buy and hold, rent it out?
We're going to do a flip on this one. Like I said, depending on that pool, that's kind of the big unknown. But if that pool is in good condition, it should be pretty cheap, easy flip. Just kind of clean it up, make it look good, some good curb appeal, and then throw it back on the market. And it should be should fetch a good profit there.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, it is right now. The market is so strong that you just do a little bit of lipstick and you're still getting a good return. It's crazy.
Exactly. Yeah.
We're gonna kind of talk about the market actually. So chime in when we get to that point on what you're thinking.
Will do.
That's awesome. I'm just curious what Sheena's eating. She's so attentive to whatever she's eating. What is that? Cereal? Lunch?
Yogurt and strawberries and bananas. Sorry.
It looks good. That's why you're you're so focused on it. It's great. Well, welcome everybody. It's Friday, last Friday of the month of January. Believe it or not, 2021. We're already kicking. It's kind of funny. My wife hasn't taken down. I'd say my wife, but we haven't taken our Christmas decorations down yet. I'm just like, you know what? We just leave them up already. The year's already going so fast. It's crazy. But we are glad that you're all on here. Corey, you want to kick it off?
Yeah.
Find his mute button.
Thanks everybody for jumping on. I was just reading a question in the chat from Carlos. If we have is there any buyers in Landers, California on the call? Landers, where is that?
Close to Desert Hot Springs, Yucca Valley, that area, going towards Palm Springs.
Palm Springs.
What you got, Carlos?
It's kind of a difficult situation. The homeowner right now, he's in a VA hospital. The seller, she did a quick claim deed for her dad, so she's trying to become the power of attorney, basically handling all his transactions right now. So it's a 5-acre 5-acre lot that has a house, 1,300 square feet, but it needs a lot of work, and has a lot of materials on property.
Nice. What do you think the value of it would be?
There's one that flipped for 220 that's right next to it that has the same acreage, but it was bought for like around $60,000. So we're looking around that area, like around 80 to 90 to sell it off and then have someone buy it for 220, 225, or I mean, flip it for that amount, 225 or so.
Yeah. So you would be helping to represent the sellers then and try to wholesale out?
Yeah. Correct.
Nice. Are you a licensed agent?
No, not a licensed agent.
Wholesaler. Perfect. No, that's great. That's awesome. So then, yeah, if you those numbers, yeah, if you can wholesale it out at 80, 90,000, and then if it's not a massive rehab, then somebody, yeah, solid deal.
Yeah. Sweet. Yeah.
Hey,
No, just
Carlos,
figure it
aren't you connected with New Wealth Advisors Club, Melina and Andrew guys?
Not at the moment for right now. I've been venturing out a little bit on my own, and I'm also starting a gig as an integrator for a wholesale company back east.
Nice. Okay. Cool.
Here, Alex Young, he's on here, but he's not paying attention. But reach out to Alex. He's right now in San Diego, and we have a lot of connections in California, and so it's probably a little small for the people that I know that are looking in Cali right now, but that seems like a pretty good value, especially if somebody's in that area who's newer to investing and you're looking for a really easy entry point. I mean, that's an easy buy-in at $80,000 and rehab. So that could be a really great project. So if anybody's newer and kind of interested in California, that might be one to check out. Those are the good ones. Those power of attorney, the family's got to sell. Those are good opportunities.
Sweet. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, welcome, Carlos. And then there's John Carlos. You guys share the same name, who's first time. Welcome, John.
Welcome, John. Yeah.
Thank you guys for having me.
Anytime. This is
absolutely good. So John's asking if there's any tips for him. He wants to get started out in wholesaling. What would you say? Okay, cool. One tip.
One tip.
Just one.
One tip. If you just are you gonna wait? He's gonna start off in wholesaling.
Yeah. I just I've been doing a lot of research on it. I know you don't need a real estate license to start on wholesaling. And I just really like the idea of it. I know it's more hard work than what social media plays it out to be. So I for sure just want to, do a lot of research and how to approach people when it comes to these type of things and just things in that nature, or like get someone who's been successful in that field and they can teach me the in and outs of it.
Yeah, that's awesome. Gosh, we've done a lot of wholesales over the years. I think the main thing is that when you're sourcing deals and you're presenting deals to other investors, just be as accurate as you possibly can with your numbers. When you have a reputation of being accurate on your rehab budget and your ARVs, then people will come back to you. But all of us who are seasoned investors, man, the most frustrating thing is when wholesalers send you a deal and they're like, this is a steal. And then you're looking at all their numbers and you're like, that's nowhere near reality. And then you just kind of discount them kind of going forward. So start strong, have somebody that maybe has been in real estate for a bit, be your mentor or somebody who checks your numbers for construction and your ARV. And that will help you to build a good, solid reputation in the market. That's what I would say. How about you, Corey?
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah. So for wholesaling, I guess one thing I would say is wholesaling is on you're focusing a lot on the acquisition side. So that's finding deals and funding deals or finding buyers for your deal. So I'd say you got to start out marketing, find a way to get some marketing out there, whether it's direct mail, bandit signs, if you can. But really the key is to start building relationships with the other people in your network. What market are you in?
What do you mean by that? I'm sorry.
Are you in Hawaii or where are you?
I'm in Tampa, Florida.
Tampa, Florida. Okay.
Yes, sir. I am in a couple groups there, like some real estate investor groups on Facebook that my cousin joined me in. So those are like the only types of groups. And then I also joined a couple groups on LinkedIn as well.
Awesome. Yeah, I would join all the groups online because now it's you gotta play the game a little different, right? We can't go to the meetings and build relationships face to face, but we can still do it online. Try to network with as many people as many players as you can who know what they're doing and are doing deals actively in your market. Build relationships with them, find a way to serve them, and then go out there and find some deals. And I would network with other wholesalers too, because maybe, the wholesaler has a deal, but you have the buyer. So it's all about connecting people, putting the pieces together, right? So when you build relationships, the deals come consistently and you don't have to market for them. So I would focus on building relationships and marketing as fast and as hard as you can.
Okay, thank you.
No, that's good. Actually, John, you're doing a great job in warming up kind of today's conversation. And so just so that we can set kind of the plans for today, sometimes, as some of you who've been on before, we'll have a guest come on, and some of you have actually been kind of in the hot seat. You've shared some different pieces of knowledge or information or some experiences. And then other times we pause and then we just kind of do a check-in, and then we allow it to be a Q&A time where everybody is people that we can use as resources, because there's actually people on this call, believe it or not, that's smarter than Corey. It's hard to imagine. And so there's people that we can definitely ask questions of and learn from. So today will be kind of is that Q&A kind of thing. And then I actually had contacted a buddy of mine who had reached out to me about a deal that he's evaluating. And so today we're going to have him share a little bit about that, so we can kind of do a live deal analysis, if you will. And so that's kind of today. And then we'll have guests going forward. Of course, last week was amazing. Thatch was awesome. I chatted with him a little bit afterwards, and I'm like, dude, what is it that you're on? You're like always hyper. But he's the real deal. And so we'll definitely do some more guests. But from time to time, it's just great. We've got such a great network of folks that are joining us. And I know Corey and I consider it an honor and a blessing to really be able to be connected to all of you in different ways, and we're by no means the experts. And so today's a little bit of a Q&A type thing and kind of hanging out. And so we'll definitely do some questions, throw some questions in the chat, especially if you're newer and you're kind of curious. There's some really experienced folks on here, so it's kind of cool. But why don't we just start off while you're thinking about some of the things that you're thinking through in terms of what you're going through, or if you got a deal you want to toss out. We're going to have Warren just share a little bit about a deal that he's got going on. He's currently in Seattle at his condo, but he's from Hawaii, and he has a deal that came across his lap through a family friend on Oahu that he's reached out to kind of say, hey, here's what I've got.
Come on.
Here's what I'm thinking about. So what do you guys think? So he's going to share it with all of us, and then feel free to give some of your input. For those of you who are newer to real estate investing, the reason this is interesting for most of us is because the whole process of deal analysis is so essential to being successful in investing. And so we'll kind of talk through this deal together. And for those of you who are experienced at analyzing deals, listen in and get ready to jump in and provide input. So Warren Rubin is going to be sharing just a little bit about his deal, and we'll just try to give some input. So Warren, tell us a little bit. How long have you been doing real estate investing?
First of all, thank you for the introduction, Kiko, and thank you, Kiko and Corey, for this opportunity. As far as real estate investing, maybe 6 months, so relatively new. I do have 2 properties, but no rehab under my belt. The 2 properties, again, like this deal we're analyzing, kind of just fell on my lap. But yeah, I'm relatively new to the space, no expert at all. So I really appreciate any feedback, because I'm trying to find the exit strategy for this deal. So I'm hoping everyone on here, can provide some feedback for me, because I've been struggling trying to network and figure out what's the best way to actually help the owner on. And if not, then if I take on the property, see what I can do, to with this potential deal.
Solid. All right. Well, then let's welcome. Tell us a little bit about this deal, and we'll kind of take it from there.
Yeah, let me go ahead and share my screen. Give me 1 second while I get this going. So I just started sharing my screen. Let me know when you guys see everything up. You guys see my screen?
Yep.
Okay. So yeah, my name is Warren Rubin again. I put this, Kiko called me a couple hours ago. I landed in Seattle this morning. I took a nap. And I just heard his voicemail maybe an hour ago, so I had almost no time to put this together. So I apologize if the PowerPoint's a little messy. But just a quick background on myself, about myself. I'm 26 years old. I'm born and raised on Oahu. I'm currently an electrical engineer, but I hate my job, trying to see if I can find an opportunity soon to potentially leave my W-2. Like I said earlier, I have 2 properties, my primary residence on Oahu and a rental condo in Seattle. I quote rental because my girlfriend lives there. She's here for school. She's paying the rent, so I don't know if that's considered a rental, but yeah.
It's creative.
I
like it.
Okay. So I'm just gonna give you guys a quick background on this potential deal. So like Kikoa said, it's a family friend. She's in distress. So permits were open 10 years ago in 2010 for $455,000. The lot is big. It's about 9,000 square feet. Big in relative to Oahu. It's zone R5. It's been vacant for over 5 years. They went owner builder, by the way, if anyone's curious. So the original plan, or her original plan, was to build a 13-bedroom care home. And some other bits of information. The current mortgage on the house is about $400,000. And I believe she's in forbearance for some of that. So it gets a little tricky. So I'm trying to put all the pieces together. What do I have on my next slide? Oh, so here, so this picture here is for a property right next door, same exact size lot. So I'm just giving you guys some comps that I'm running. This is probably one of the better ones that I have for the area because the home is relatively large to what they have in the area. If you guys are curious, the property is in Aiea. So this comp next door was built on a similar size lot. It was this lot's also 9,000 square feet. What they did was they CPR'd the property. So these 2 houses here, they sold in 2018 for $935,000 and $900,000 respectively. One house is a 6-bedroom, 4-bath, and another house is a 5-bedroom, 3-bath. And apparently this investor's been calling her quite a lot to see if he can get the property.
So Warren, that's 9,000 square foot per lot. So it was an 18,000 square foot lot before CPR.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's 9,000 square foot total. So when they CPR'd it, they cut it in half. What is it, 4,500?
So 4,500 each, yeah. So for people that are not in Hawaii, CPR is not a term that's often used. How would you define CPR?
Yeah, so CPR stands for Condominium Property Regime. If I say anything incorrect, someone please step in. So from my understanding, you're allowed in Hawaii to basically condominiumize the property, if that's even a word. So you can build 2 separate units on a property. I believe the land, like the parcel, stays as like still one parcel, so still one TMK with tax map key. But you can have 2 separate units and you can sell each unit separately. So that's what they did on this property. To give you some more, I guess, information about the property. So my mom's friend, her property in 2021, the land, the total 9,000 square feet of land was assessed for $702,000, but the land next door, when they CPR'd it, it was assessed for $500,000 and like $530,000 or something. So I think that's one of the benefits for CPR. I think the whole reasoning behind allowing that is to provide more affordable homes in Hawaii. And it makes sense to me, but like I said, if I said anything incorrect, someone feel free to jump in and correct me.
That was good. Very good. Very good. That was a pop quiz. You pass.
Oh, thank you.
Corey, would you add anything for the CPR since we're doing some of those?
No, yeah, it's very common in Hawaii, and I found out later that it's not as common in the mainland. But CPR, yeah, Warren's correct. Like they made it a lot more prevalent just to help with the inventory, maximize the limited land that we have, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so that's all for my slides, but let me go ahead and show you guys some pictures of the actual property. So I've a little bit more information. So what I'm doing right now, so my initial goal is to actually help my mom's friend keep the property and see if she can continue on with construction. So I offered her to go and get bids. So this whole week I've walked the property with 4 different GCs, general contractors. I'm waiting for their bids to come in, but once they get me their bids, I'm gonna go ahead and present it to my mom's friend and lay out all the options for her. and see where she wants to go from there. So I got these pictures from my first walkthrough on the property. So as you guys, I think it's still loading. As you guys can see, it's messy. There's a bunch of trash. Like I said, it's been vacant for over 5+ years. Let me see. So they started construction, owner builder. I believe her husband was doing a lot of the work, or managing a lot of the work. She said they're 50% of the way through. From my walkthrough, it looks like they're probably 20 or 30% of the way through. There's a lot of trash on the property. She has, I think, 4 cars on there. They're all her cars. So here's some pictures from my walkthrough with the contractors. They're saying the best thing, or what they would probably do, is demo everything, because the wood, the framing has all been weathered. You can see it doesn't have that nice brown color anymore. Pictures are taking a little bit longer than I thought to load. But you see here, she has a bed. I don't know why that's there. So she has a lot of the framing up. Sorry, the pictures are taking a lot longer than I thought to load. And behind this plywood wall here is where they put a lot of material. So there's a bunch of material still on the property. How much of that is still usable, I'm not sure. But they do have a lot of material also inside of the original property that was in the house, like a lot of flooring. So I'm hoping we can still, use some of that if she decides to continue on with construction. So you can see the property is in pretty bad condition. I'd say this is a pretty big project. 3 of the 4 GCs are recommending to demo it all and start from scratch. So that already sounds expensive. I don't have any bids yet, but it's all looking to be over 500 easy from what I'm hearing from the guesstimates.
How many square feet are they trying to build, or the floor plans are for?
So for her 13-bedroom care home, it's 5,200, I believe, square feet.
So your contractors are bidding $100 a square foot.
Yeah, about. I think the lowest guesstimate that I'm getting is about 510, and the highest right now, one of them said it might be around 800. I don't know that for sure until I get their bids in, which I should be getting in a few days. So just going through the pictures, that's a mess. There's a bunch of junk that needs to be removed. I did get an estimate from junk removal service. That's the first estimate I got in. He's assuming that they're gonna demo everything and take it off. Just to remove everything, the estimate came in around, I think, $24,000. Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and present that to her, see what she wants to do.
So what numbers are you working with right now in terms of, is she willing to sell it to you?
So she was actually going to sell it last week. Oh, I'm sorry, not last week, last year. She said that someone approached her. I'm not too sure if it was an investor or an agent. But then she decided to back out of it. And then she was about to, when I contacted her last week, I only spoke to her last week, so this is a relatively new deal. When I spoke to her last week, she said that she was about to call a realtor, so she was glad that I got in contact with her, because she didn't know what options she had available to her. She's not an investor or anything like that. So I'm just trying to see how I can help her. If you guys see this picture here, there's chickens. The neighbor, the house on the left, they're like leaving the chickens there, rent free.
Nice. That's great.
Yeah, and the thing about the property is, so here, this dirt back here, she said this is another 3,000 square feet of land in the back, but this is a lot of dirt to excavate. It's expensive. So like I said, I'm trying to run all the numbers now to figure out what's the best exit strategy if she decides to let the property go to me. And she has said that she's basically letting me run the decision. She's not talking to anyone else. She's like, hey, can you help me out? See what's best for her. So that's what I'm trying to do. If she can't afford construction or can't fund construction, then I'm going to offer to buy it and see what we can do from there. Maybe a JV, some sort of lease option, or some sort of subject to deal if it makes sense.
Has she given you any sense of numbers that she needs?
She has not given me a sense. I just know what she owes on the property, which is about 400. She's going through a divorce, so that's the big motivation behind this. They were trying to file for divorce last year, but because of this property, it got dismissed. So I don't know which motivation is stronger to either continue the property or go through the divorce. So when I talk to her next week, I'm gonna, ask those questions and see, which motivation is driving her to, move forward with doing something on to this property. So this picture I have here is actually for the of the original house. It's the original house like was on the property. It was a 4-bedroom single wall construction. So what's going on here was her husband, or soon to be ex-husband, started construction, and he was turning single wall to double wall construction. So this was supposed to be a separate rental unit. So the care home, it's 13 bedrooms total, but it's 2 separate units. So the front unit is 5 bedrooms downstairs for the care home. Upstairs was going to be 4 bedrooms where she would live. And this back unit, which is the original unit that was on the lot, that was going to be a separate 4-bedroom rental. But then, like I said, again, there's still another 3,000 square feet of land in the back that I'm going to see if she wants to do something with. But with the budget, yeah, with the numbers she's throwing out. So I asked her how much she thinks construction is going to be. She's like, oh, I think $300,000 left. That's what she told me. It's not going to be anywhere near there. So that's why I'm just trying to see. I'm trying to get all these numbers in for her, so she can make the final decision.
Is anybody on the call has done a care home before? If you have, throw your name down on the chat. I'm just curious. And then has anybody on this call done a CPR? Throw your name in the chat just real quick, and then we'll come back to that in a sec. What is that? Is that like a swamp?
Yeah. So
Arian, I want to jump in real quick. I might have to step off. That's why. But Keone and I looked at this property probably going on almost a year and a half ago. So we can look back to our notes and maybe give you whatever information we got, because we kind of backed out of it too because we couldn't make the numbers work at that time. But I know market's different now, so maybe that's something we can talk about later. Sorry to interrupt you. I may have to jump off.
No worries. And
Try to stay on if you can. That'd be super interesting to.
That'd be great, Richie.
Yeah, I'm staying on as long as I can.
Okay, thanks, Richie. Thanks for that. Yeah, I love to chat because I'm trying to make the numbers work too, but it's getting really tight. It'd be nice if we can talk about this deal offline later. But let me go back to show you guys some of those videos. So this is the backyard. Yeah, a bunch of mess. A lot of land up there.
A mess.
Yeah. And this is a video of the inside of the house. Like I said, there's a bunch of materials they left. A lot of work still to do.
I like the chicken soundtrack. That's perfect.
Oh, you guys can hear the sound. I thought I shared it without sound. My girlfriend's here next to me laughing because she hears the chicken, but I'm like, oh, I hope I didn't share the sound.
No worries.
Yeah.
All right, on. While we pause there, Warren, I think we got basically motivation is that, there's a divorce situation. She's been building this thing for 10 years. And so she probably wants to get out of it. She's got a debt of about $400K left on it that she says. So of course, we've got to verify that. And then it looks like the 9,000 square foot lot could be CPR'd based on the example of the house right next door. So you could get 2 lots out of it potentially. Chris says that he's done a CPR and an owner build. Chris, when it comes to a CPR, when you're looking at this particular project, is there anything that stands out to you that you would say, hey, this would be a concern or something to keep in mind?
So first of all is what's the zoning? That'd be my major concern is, like, for me, I'm in the R5, so your 9,000 wouldn't allow 2 full units. The way I read it, I had plenty of property, but the other thing is the demo cost. Ooh, I'd be worried about that, starting off from scratch. That's the big deal.
Yeah, the zoning is R5, so the guys next door, because it's R5, they can't build detached units, right? So what they did in the picture I have here on my slide, do you guys see it? So it looks like it's detached, but there's like a hallway connecting it. Like here, if you see where my cursor is, behind this house. I didn't notice it, so I walked my mom's friend's property, but there's a hallway because it has to be attached because of zoning.
Yep, I see it.
Yeah. I do have one question for if anyone on the line is familiar with loans. So she actually did send me her statement for January of this year. I'm trying to get an idea. So she thinks the payoff is 400. She's not even familiar with what's going on the statement. But there's a line item in the statement that says outstanding principal of 297,000 and deferred principal for 102,000. I'm not too sure if that means that the total payoff is the 297 plus 102, which is about 400, or if it's just 297. Does anyone know?
I can answer. Yeah, I can answer that. I deal with a lot of those. You need to order a payoff, so you need to get. It's called a waiver to release information. Get her to sign that, then pass that. So you'll need like her social security number, loan information, stuff like that. Once you have that, then you can order a payoff. You never know what the payoff is until you get that. A statement won't tell you what the payoff is. It's just going to tell you what the remaining balance is. That first line item that you have, where what is it again?
Outstanding principal.
Outstanding. That's not a deferral, bro. She hasn't paid for an extended period of time on her principal balance. She's in pre-foreclosure.
Interesting.
And a little bit more, because I'm dealing with 2 foreclosures right now, or 3 foreclosures right now. If they're vacant, the banks are allowing the proceedings to go through right now, and this property is vacant, so she's pretty much at risk of being foreclosed on. And the best way, so I'm delaying. This is a recorded call. I am dragging my feet on some of these foreclosures so that we can get the deal done. And if you need to know how to do that, you can just reach out to me.
Oh yeah, perfect. I'll take you up on that offer. I'm glad you brought that up. Thanks for sharing those tidbits of information. It's funny now because she was telling me that she's getting a bunch of calls. I assumed it was investors. So now I'm thinking maybe it might be banks calling her. Now I gotta go,
Hey Keith, that's really good to that your hint or your strategy there, just to make sure that you get an official payoff statement. So would it also, just kind of throwing out there, would it also be somewhat accurate to then pull a preliminary title and see what liens and title mortgages are on that property? Would that be another way to also kind of validate?
Yes, but that's still not going to give you the payoff. So we order 3 things. Every single time we buy a property and we think that we're going to take it subject to, we order 3 things. We open title and order a prelim, we get a payoff, and we get a reinstatement. And so that reinstatement is, if you're going to take it sub 2, you need to know how much you're going to have to come up with to make the loan current, to make it good so you can hold it subject to its existing mortgage. Otherwise, you're going to buy the friggin' property and they're going to foreclose on your ass. So you need to reinstate the loan. Or if you're not going to reinstate the loan, then you need to know what the payoff is. If you're going to come in with a cash deal, you need to know what you need to close off. But regardless, what Keikoa said is totally true. If she's had some people come in here and do freaking work on the property and she didn't pay them, then there's going to be 40 grand, 50 grand of mechanics liens on the property that you won't know until you order a prelim.
Yeah. So yeah, Keith's response is awesome. So I would say everything that Keith says and the prelim is important, because the prelim won't include all of that back payment that is kind of piling up, because that won't show up on title until the bank puts it on there. And you would miss all that if you just went to the title. But you'll also catch things like mechanics liens. So that's important to kind of do all of it. So that was perfect. Great answer, Keith.
That's great information. Thank you.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. Richie, tell us what else you saw on this particular property. So now let's just assume that about $650,000 is the debt, plus probably some additional penalties, but probably safely $650,000.
Yeah. So I guess
got something else he wants to share. And then
yeah, so I just want to be, when you look at a statement and it says outstanding balance is 200K, whatever, and then the freaking unpaid principal or whatever, it'll say 400. It's not this plus this equals amount owed. It's typically this minus this plus a crap load of per diem, attorney fees, blah, 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 all this garbage that they tack on when you're late. You have all your late payments, and per diem especially is $80 a day. But it's not this plus this. It's going to be whatever the balance is minus whatever is late, plus all the escrow, or excuse me, hold on. I'm sorry. If you're going to reinstate it, it's this minus this. If you're going to pay it off, then it's the larger one. It's whatever the principal balance is owed. This is just what's late. So if you're going to reinstate it, that's what you need to come up with. But it's not both of them. It's not an addition.
Okay. Quick question. So the line item where it says deferred principal, So it sounds like she may be in pre-foreclosure. So there's no subject to option on the table.
You'll have to. Have to become current.
She'll have to become
And deferred principal. I mean, is she in a forbearance program, or she didn't tell you?
She didn't tell me, but I did talk to I showed the statement to a loan officer, and he said, he thinks that she may be in forbearance. I'd have to ask her that question.
Okay.
If she's in forbearance, you absolutely can take it subject to. I'm currently doing it. What they're going to do with that forbearance, that, you know, my guy is like 6 months into forbearance. They're just going to tack that on to the end of the loan. So loan period has been extended. He doesn't have to pay any fee. There's nothing that I have to do. I just have to start paying starting January, start making that payment again.
Oh, interesting. Okay. So you said you can take it subject to.
Absolutely.
Okay,
The forbearance. But if she's freaking 200 grand late, that's the, you're going to have to reinstate if you take it subject to, or doing a loan modification, which is a lot of paperwork, and it typically takes like 60 days to do a loan mod, and she has to be totally on board. You need to get like a power of attorney, and it's pretty expensive.
She did mention something about a loan mod. I don't know if that's what the 102 deferred principal is. I didn't know what it was when she said it. She said she did a loan mod before.
What bank is it with? Do you know?
American Savings, I think. I'd have to double check. It's a local bank, if I recall correctly.
Okay. Yeah, it seems like you need more information to in order to figure out the best way to tackle this one. But I guess, what have you looked at ARVs and tried to pull comps and like, what is your exit strategies that you're looking at for options?
Yeah, great question. So I did try to run ARVs based on what her plans. It's probably the easiest thing to do. So it's hard to run ARVs for big houses like 10, 11, 12, 13 bedroom homes, but it's suggesting about a 1.1 just for her building, 1.1 to 1.2 within like a 5-mile radius that recently sold. So I have two exit strategies. The first one is actually a care home. I talked to you, Corey, about this, and Kiko knows, but if I inherit the property or get the property, I wanted to see if I could build a attached CPR and, you know, operate 2 care homes. So Kiko gave me some great advice through email last week or a few days ago, you know, asking about licensing. The reason I kind of want to pursue the care home is because my mom has been a registered nurse for 20 plus years. I have aunties that are in the health field. My mom's best friend, they have the care, they manage the care homes or something like that. So I've been talking to them. I have some understanding of the licensing, the timeline. I know it takes long. There's going to be a lot of gaps in between. So that's what I'm trying to pursue. Step back. My mom always wanted a care home for like 10 plus years, but she's just been so busy. And, you know, I think it would be nice if you know, I can do something to help her reach her dream of, you know, owning a care home. So that's what I'm trying to pursue. That's the first exit strategy. That strategy is going to be dependent on construction costs, which it looks like it's going to be really, really expensive. Second exit strategy is similar to this house that I'm showing now, the CPR next door. Buy it, demo it, build it, sell it, but the numbers are looking tight, especially with you know, contractors so busy, materials at a premium. That's the only two that I have right now.
Well, I already I see a problem already with the numbers, because if she owes 400, we don't have a purchase price yet, but she owes 400, perhaps a bunch of fees on top of that. And then you have a renovation budget of 500,000. So you're at 900,000, not including holding costs and closing costs. So already you're at 9. And if you have a ARV of 1.1, it's tight already.
Yeah.
So I thought there was 2 dwellings, or the one place the CPR is 1.1 just for one half of the property.
The 1.1 was for a similar size building. So her what she wanted to do was a 13 bed building. So the 1.1, 1.2 ARV was for just that one building that she was trying to do. But I do agree the numbers are actually really tight, and if anyone here has any other suggestions, I'm open to it. Like I said, I'm only like a week into trying to help my mom's friend out. So
Let's check out what Richie thought, because Richie and Keone evaluated about a year ago. I don't know if Richie's still on there.
Yeah, I'm here.
Awesome.
Yeah, so it was a hard one, but it needed to be CPR'd for it to work. The problem was not essentially doing the CPR, but the configuration of the CPR. In the back, there's a lot of work because it's an upslope lot. It's high on the backside. And then the CPR configuration on this, it's gonna be like a front house, back house. And the house next door that was a CPR, but they had like a wide driveway, yeah. Like this one doesn't have that. So the parking situation is gonna be a little bit different. And the way it is now, it's almost like, if I remember correctly, it's almost like you gotta kind of pass through the like a front house to get to the back house if you was to do a CPR on it. So it's a little bit more challenging. It definitely can be done, but I have to, like I said, I have to take a look at our notes again and see. But
hey, Richie, what is the for the people that are asking questions about CPR? So R5 means basically single dwelling, 5,000 square feet. CPR allows for 2 dwellings connected to be within R5 at 9,000 square feet, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And then when that happens and gets approval, what's that process look like? Application, fees, when is it feasible? What do those regulations look like?
Yeah, so we're actually going through that right now too, but it's so many moving parts there once you start playing with the CPR. So of course you're gonna get an attorney involved, and you're gonna be paying costs up front and things like that. And then we all know with Hawaii, it's a lot of waiting. So that was one of the challenges, right? The holding time, which in turns into holding costs. And if she owes 400, because at that time, I think we're trying to buy it at I think it was like 6 something, maybe 7. I forget. I'd have to look, but the numbers could work if we CPR'd it. The trouble to me was getting the CPR done with the way the physical configuration of the house was. Because yes, maybe tear down is the best. And of course, contractors would want to do that because it's probably going to be easiest for them. But at the same time, this house is a CMU construction home that has really great structure already, right? So you would want to utilize what's there. I think that would have been the play for us, was to keep what's already there. But just the narrow sides of the house, you won't have that good driveway, and trying to get equipment up to the top on the backside was the other one. So essentially we couldn't make it work because of purchase price for us. But I think you can still make it work if you got the inside on that. Because if we can do it, I think even if you guys are talking about 650 all in, if she's willing to just give it up for that, get rid of all the debt or whatever, and then maybe essentially partner with her or something somehow, I think 650 would be very doable on that property.
For purchase price.
What's that?
Richie, for purchase price, 650, you're saying?
Yeah.
Because it could be that actually the debt, it sounds like, may not be 650. It's more like under 500.
Right.
Perhaps.
But
We got to look into the fees.
If the debt's on, it's 400 and whatever else that needs to be taken care of. Yeah, I think that 650 would do it.
Well, I say if you're going to partner with her, then partner with her at the cost of the debt.
Yeah, I was about to mention that.
Yeah. I mean, because you're taking on the risk. You're going to be taking on the risk, I'm assuming. If you partner with her, then she might have to take on the risk, depending on how you finance it, right? If you partner with her subject to, then obviously, what she brings to the table is you getting equitable interest into the property without having to buy it, right? So you'll partner with her. But the problem, like I was telling you earlier with subject to, is that if you have a large renovation budget, that means that you're going to have to come up with that renovation budget in full. So sometimes owner financing and subject to isn't as favorable that doesn't mean it's better than hard money or private money because it depends on how big the renovation budget is, because hard money will typically finance you 100% in arrears, right? So with a budget of 500,000, you're gonna have to bring up the whole 500,000. Whereas if you use hard money, you might have to just bring in like a fraction of that, right? So that's something to keep in mind when it comes to the financing side. So I think it really depends on what option you choose. But partnering with her, I'd say that you partner with her at the cost of whatever the debt is, which is like 400, so because if you're partners, you guys are both partners, you both share risk, you both bring something to the table, so just make sure that she's someone that you can partner with, though you feel comfortable.
Yeah, and I want to add to that, the exit, if you are going to sell 2 units, right, I think that's where you're going to have to put a lot of thought up front, because like I said, the configuration, because I think the CPR on this one, part of the house is going to be a larger house, and then the other one's going to be a smaller one. Yeah. So, and mention about it's unless you change the configuration, it's almost like passing through one of the houses to get to the other one. Yeah. So, I know Keone is on here too. Maybe he can, if he remembers anything, maybe he can jump on too at any time. But it's kind of funny because I'm on my computer here in my house, and Keone is waiting for me. He's on Coffee Talk in his truck outside of my house. So.
Oh, you got one Friday afternoon date. I like it.
Friday date.
But Keone's not too embarrassed to chime in, so it's all good.
Yeah. You guys hear me?
There we go.
No, we're taking care of taxes. We gotta
That's important.
Yeah, taxes.
Filing for another extension. No, I actually wasn't able to catch everything, but I caught the beginning and I was kind of in and out. But I want to commend Warren first off, man. I mean, I did catch that you're only doing this 6 months, bro. If you didn't say that, you sound like a seasoned vet, man. So I commend you, bro. Like, you got some information. I remember 6 months in, I didn't even know what you're talking about. So, awesome job, dude. I do remember this property, and what Richie was saying was always accurate. I can recall that I don't know, your family member on this one, she was asking, I think it was like 9 something. And I think she was using that house next door, but it obviously the condition of what they were at compared to this one. And I do just want to throw this out is that I do have actually still the blueprints. So what was strange to me was I asked for a survey and they didn't do a survey. And so I don't know how you did the architectural engineering plans. I actually bought it. So like I actually bought the plans for this one. So I still have it for this thing, but it just didn't work out as far as the numbers and the amount that they needed and they wanted. And I think they were asking 9, and we're so far apart after we brought out our contractors and we laid out the plans on the table. I think we even brought out investors as far as not investors, but lenders to try and look at it with us because we thought we might be able to push forward, but then the seller just didn't want to budge from that pricing, and there's no way we could get it done for that number. So we stepped back.
Yeah, she did mention something about 900. I wasn't sure if someone offered her 900 or if she was going to list it for 900. It sounds like she was going to list it for 900. It's definitely not going to work at 900. That's why I'm hoping if I can show her all these bids, show her how much it costs to remove all the junk, how much it's going to cost to demo and start the work all over, which is what 3 of the 4 contractors are kind of recommending. Hopefully she'll come down a little. If not, then offer some sort of JV or lease option because she really wants a care home. Maybe buy it, build it, and give her the option to buy it back.
Hey guys, real quick, is Mr. Alexander still on? Alex, hey, bro, can you maybe we'll pull up the address on PropStream?
Yeah.
And like, what if you don't mind kind of sharing your screen, then we can kind of look. I just want to look at the debt structure of what the bank is, like what kind of information PropStream can bring up on that side. But in the meantime, Warren, I think we have to decide on, and it's hard because you need more information, is what is the best exit strategy. It sounds like you have your number one exit strategy is to turn it into a care home, right? So you're gonna keep it, refinance to keep it, and I guess Kiko, what LTV would he need to be at, you think, in order to like cash out when it's done
with the care home?
Yeah, do you know? Or maybe Alex or anybody else on the call, if they know. I mean, do they look at it as a single family residence, like, or is it now deemed commercial if it's?
So if he's going to exit strategy with a regular residential loan, because care homes can happen in a residential house, they can do a regular loan, then you would just do a regular LTV type scenario. But if you're going to try to refinance it as a small business, then the business income after it started will be what they'll use as part of that valuation. So I don't know if that's going to work in this situation. There's going to be a lot of debt on this one if it's going to be at $900,000 plus construction. But let's see what Alex says, what the values are, what's owed.
Oh, is this Alex's screen?
This is my screen. I've got it up if you want to go through it.
Is that prop stream? Is Alex's or?
This is Warren. This is Warren's screen. I'm on prop stream. I'm still in the free trial.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah, let's look at it. Did you pull it up on this already?
I did. Yes. So this is the actual property.
Yeah, take us to the debt section, or like the mortgage
transaction history.
Got it.
Oh, she's with CPB.
Oh, so yeah, she only owes 472, just like that she was saying. But she has a previous mortgage in 08 at 602.
No, the estimated. Well, that's if she's been paying, right? So
yeah, it doesn't record any delinquencies or fees, late fees.
Well, it says it's in default unknown, so that could be why it's 472 as a payoff now.
Yeah.
Okay. Try tax information.
It's assessed at 757. That's pretty good. 768.
Maybe, and documents and reports. I haven't gotten that far with PropStream yet. We gotta have some more meetings with Burton. Bring him on a little bit more.
Yeah, I'm trying to get more familiar with it. If you guys want, I do have the reports. This is for the CPR next door. This is for one of the units. So after the CPR, this is for what one of it is assessed.
Got it. Well, why don't we let's have a concluding discussion on your deal, and maybe kind of let's help point Warren in the right direction and have his back as he's trying to find and navigate this deal. It's a pretty complicated deal. It's just more about deal structure, right? When I first started, like if I got a deal like this, I kind of would just say like, I don't think I can help you. Sorry, just because I didn't know how to structure the deal. So good on you for reaching out and trying to figure it out, because if you can figure it out, it could be a great deal, right? So and you can help your family members. So does anybody have any suggestions or talking points or things for Warren to make sure to ask when he's meeting with the seller? Any direction that somebody recommends on this deal? I know the information's a little bit scarce to make a solid decision, but let's try to see if we can put our heads together. Okay, cool. What would you do? What would you do given this deed?
Well, I mean, I obviously love care homes. We'll be 2 months away from opening up ours here in Bellevue. So I have a passion for that, but I don't think that's going to be the right move on this one. So based on the screen that Warren's got open now, the assessed land value is 551. The building value is 382, which we know is inaccurate because that CMU wall is not worth 382 unless it's the Great Wall of China. That's totally off. So assess land value. Oh, did you change it?
Yeah, this is for my mom's friend's property. That was for the CPR next door, the one that I had up.
Okay. So if you're at assessed value of 702, then I would probably kind of look at that. I would go back. Can you get 2020 for the assessment year?
I'm not sure. I was trying to figure out how to find that. I didn't know where to go. Anyone knows?
So what I would do, just high level, is to take that 702 assessed land value, and then I would just say, hey, it's going to cost 100,000, say, to scrape the land, so it's going to be 600,000. So then I would try to justify to her that I couldn't offer you more than say 575 for this piece of property, and here's why. And I would back into that value, because at about 575 to 600,000, if you can get that piece of land with the structure that's sitting there, the CMU, the wood's got to go. But I agree with Richie. If you can keep the CMU walls and look at the floor plan and see if you can readjust it. And I don't think that I don't know if a care home, I mean, if you want to try to do a care home and you buy it at 600,000 and you can have 13 bedrooms at 1.1 million, then care homes right now are bringing in 8 to 10,000 per resident. If you've got 10 residents, you're going to bring in 80,000 a month. Those numbers work, so I think that at a 1.2, $1.3 million debt on this, then you're looking at a mortgage of roughly $8,500 a month. So with $80,000 of income a month, I think those numbers could work. So that's one exit strategy, if you can get that price that low. The other option is if you don't want to do the care home and that's just too much extra work, is if you can buy this at say 600,000 or 575, then I would look at the floor plan with the walls that are already built, try to keep the walls in place and redesign it from a 5,000 square footer down to like a 4,000 square footer and keep the current walls and what's there. And then that way, maybe you're going to have construction costs of say 400, then you're 600, 400, you're in 1 million. And now you're going to have a 4,000 square foot house on a 9,000 square foot lot in IAEA, which probably has an ARV of close to like 1.2. So then you're going to clear maybe a couple $100,000. To me, that's not a bad exit strategy too, if you can make all that work. So those would be the two exit strategies I would look at. Of course, number 3, you could always just wholesale the land out for a developer to try to take their chances at it. But yeah, that's what I'd say. Super long answer, but that's what I see when I look at this.
Yeah, thanks for that. Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Let me check the chat, make sure. Oh yeah. Oh, Keith shared some great info. Thanks, Keith, for sharing that in the chat. Make sure to take a look at that, Warren. And I think he left you a resource for his, I don't know if that's the payoff demand.
Yeah, it's super awesome. I opened it. Keith, thanks for that, man.
Yeah, thanks, Keith.
I'm just going to copy exactly. I'm going to keep your company name. I'm just going to save the whole thing, bro. I'm going to use them. It's so pretty. I got to keep it. No,
Well,
that's good. Why don't we wrap up Warren's for now? And then if anybody's got additional comments for Warren, stick it onto our Facebook page. For the next few minutes, if that's okay, Warren, we'll stay in touch with you on this one. We're going to journey with you on that. And let us know as you get more information about what that payoff amount is, because that'll determine a lot. And we'll stay in touch. But thank you much. You're doing great. Great project for 6 months in, man.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. I appreciate all the advice, comments, feedback. And yeah, hopefully make something work, and I'll keep everyone in the loop on this.
That's awesome. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Warren. Go get them, man.
Yeah,
Can you
thanks,
send
Warren.
controls back to Kekoa, please? And
Yeah.
then we'll.
Or just take down your screen. You're good to go.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, for the next little bit, let's just hit some of these, some Q&A and stuff like that. That was awesome exercise. Hopefully everybody got some good stuff out of it. But anybody got anything you're going through, some questions that you're kind of processing through, or thoughts? I know we had a question early on about wholesaling, and we talked a little bit about how you get started in wholesaling. Anything else anybody's just kind of thinking through that would be cool to touch base on? There's Will and Alex driving around Los Angeles looking for deals. Alex?
Exactly, buddy.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey, let's you know what? That'll be kind of an interesting question for those that are new to real estate and kind of looking at wholesaling. You guys are kind of in that right now. You're in the car, you're driving around. Tell us what you look for. How do you prepare for the day? And what's kind of your plan of attack?
Yeah, man. I mean, so Alex is out in Hawaii, and so he touched down in LA, and our plan is kind of look at properties, take a look at some of the properties that we have under contract. And, we just got a property under escrow. So Alex flew out. We wanted to go kind of see that in person. And then right now today, we're just kind of heading back to our office in West LA. And we're going to sit down and kind of brainstorm on what we can do to continue to grow the business. Alex is heading back out to Hawaii at the end of the week and just, kind of keep on making sure that we're taking the right steps to grow the business while he's out there.
Sweet. So how are you finding your leads?
A lot of MLS, and right now we're doing driving for dollars. So we just got set up on Deal Machine, and Alex has about 400, 500 homes getting added in Hawaii, and then we have about 500 homes out here in LA, and we're going to start direct marketing to those as well. MLS leads are just kind of drying up out here in California. There's low inventory, and so we're going to go out there and find our own deals.
Nice. I like it.
Go get him.
Door knocking, Alex or Will?
Yeah, no one's door knocking today. It's raining, so we're staying in the car today. It's been raining for the last couple of days. Alex brought the weather from you guys out to here.
yeah. It's been It was raining hard over here, but
he left and it was raining. He showed up here and it was raining, so he's not welcome anymore.
Also, you guys, we've been getting some leads on social media. We've definitely been posting a lot. We've been having, a lot of newer wholesalers send us some deals and some opportunities. So, definitely always double down and make sure people know that you're out there looking to buy, looking to do deals. You got to constantly be in front of people so they remember. And when the opportunity comes up, they send it to you as well.
Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly what I've been saying. It's like the times have changed now. And now you have to kind of be online, you got to find out where everybody's hiding in all those groups, those investor groups on Facebook, LinkedIn, wherever, and kind of like wiggle your way in, So I think that's the way you got to do it nowadays to build relationships is online. So we got to move with the times. So, and it's just confirmation hearing that coming from you, bro. You guys are doing awesome.
There we go.
Anybody else got anything going on? Questions? I know it looks like, I don't know if we're saying it right. Blaze has got a deal that he's in escrow, his first deal that he's about to close on. So that's pretty cool. Blaze, you want to tell us a little bit about the deal? And if you got any questions or anything that you're processing through? And he may be gone.
Well, Blaze is a new investor. Oh, he's at the tail end in escrow on his first investment property. Congratulations. Let us know if you need anything. Alex had a great kind of idea, just talking about like any learning lessons from last year. I know for me, it's not just last year, but it's like the course of my career is especially when you're first getting started, or if you're right at that inflection point where you're starting to scale, to make sure that you have the infrastructure in place and you have the machine well oiled before you kick off and start running hard, in whichever way, because I have seen, many times it's happened to us too, where you get so much activity or business that you can't control it, right? And then that can cause a big problem. I mean, it's a great problem to have, because you're busy, you're making some moves, you're making noise, but it can turn south real quick. So just be careful if you're going to start scaling. And I'd recommend just making sure you have the infrastructure in place, the logistics of your own business, like the workflow, and you can never, I don't think you can ever be too detailed in the process. I don't know if anybody watches The Profit on, I forget what channel was on, but with Marcus Lemonis, where he'd come in and acquire, distressed companies and help them. And it's always, he always asks, like, he always looks at the people and the process, right? Like, what's the process? It's basically, what's the logistics of the business? How does it run? How does it even work? And for us, like, we have Sheena, who's on the call now, and she's helping us process map our company and everybody's roles. What does everybody do from start to finish, so that we can make sure that we're, if somebody is not available, that somebody can step in real quick, or it makes it seamless to hire new people. So if anybody has any comments on that too, that'll be great. Cause I'm still, we're still learning. You can never be, too good at that, right? Making sure your business is running smooth. You're running the business and the business isn't running you. So any other learning lessons from 2020 that people are carrying on to this new year?
I reviewed some of my goals from 2020 and I came up with 3 really large learning lessons. Last year I had 12 goals. I hit 3 of them. So I asked myself, why did I fail on the other 9? And like, how close did I get? Like, was I even remotely close? And the reasons, I just brainstormed. I wrote excuses. I wrote red light stories of why I didn't hit these things. You guys like my bracelet? My daughter just made this for me today. I realized when I raised my hand that showed. Those 9 goals I didn't hit for one of 3 reasons. One of them, I didn't freaking care about it. Like, it was a goal that I thought would be cool if I made X amount or did X amount of deals, but I wasn't like emotionally attached. The second was that it was too big of a goal and I didn't break it down into reasonable milestones. Like, here's my quarterly milestones, and then within the quarter, what should I be doing? Like, what is my action plan? And the biggest reason, and that is only like the smaller excuses, the biggest reason was the third one, is freaking life happens. And I did not come up with what is going to come in my way that's gonna get me down and discouraged about this. What's gonna make me inconsistent or quit? What's my biggest excuse for this not to happen? Like, if I'm wanting this now, why haven't I already achieved it? And the answers to, if I had written the answers to those questions, I guarantee you I would have succeeded at my goals. Anyway, so my goals now, I have 6 of them compared to 12. And those 6, I freaking guarantee you I'm gonna hit every single one of them. It's impossible for me not to, because the first one was I care about them. Like, they're non-negotiable. They're my expectations for this year. And I would not consider myself like alive or, worthwhile if I didn't hit these goals. And
okay, I gotta hear them now. There's too much suspense.
So when it comes to I broke my life down into 8 categories: spiritual and contribution, health, lifestyle and adventure, business, career, environment, creating a tribe around me, friends, family, relationships, and
sounds like GoBundance, yeah? Is that the?
Yeah. It's from M1, right? So I just took their stuff, and then I wrote out like a ton of goals, like 2-3 goals for each of them. So I had like freaking 20 goals, right? And I just narrowed it down. So for my spiritual and contribution, I'm going to be hosting a Bible class this year, and I have quarterly milestones. I answered, like, what's the biggest excuse for not doing it? Well, real estate coming up. How can I overcome that? What's the best way to overcome it? What's the smallest, simplest step that I can take to achieve? Right. So anyway, goal is hosting a Bible class. For my health and nutrition, I'm working out 5 days a week, and I've hit that every single time. Sometimes I'm working out 6 days a week. And last year's goal was to get down to 12% BMI. I don't give a rat's ass about being 12% BMI. I want to freaking look great when I take my shirt off and not be embarrassed. It doesn't matter what my BMI is. I just want to be working out, and it makes you feel good when you work out. So if I can feel good, it's 5 out of 7 days of the week, get your body moving. All right, sorry. So to create for my personal finances, right now I'm negative cash flow. I left Marine Corps job. I'm spending money to support my family, and I need freaking some money from my business to start rolling in here so I don't have negative cash flow every month. That seems like a stupid goal, but I don't really care what you think. My friends, family, and relationships is for this year, my biggest focus on my kids is to teach them that love is the most important thing in life. Anything else is love. For my personal growth, I'm preparing myself for the massive real estate opportunities that is going to come this year. It's going to be the greatest year for real estate. Probably there's more opportunity maybe that I'll see like in the rest of my life in the next 1 to 2 years. It's going to be here and I need to be prepared. Luck is when preparation meets opportunity. And there's a hell of a lot of opportunity coming this year. So you may want to get prepared for it. For business and career is I'm creating $600,000 in Profit Center this year. And the other gardens, if you will, for M1 or Go Abundance guys, I wrote down some goals, but then when I really asked myself and I filtered out the fluff, I didn't feel it. It wasn't non-negotiable. And if I can ascertain that I'm okay with not hitting this goal at the end of the year, why even make it a goal? Anything that I do, any amount of energy that I put towards that from now till then is wasted time if I'm okay with not achieving my goal. So I took it out. I'm not saying that I'm not going to be growing in that garden. I need to focus on different areas of my life right now. And Warren Buffett and, I should know this, Warren Buffett and somebody else, before they were who they were. Another, like, I don't know, it was the founder of Google or something like that. Two of them were in a room with 16 people having lunch with Warren Buffett's father. And they were asked, what is this is before they had the massive success that they had. What is the one thing, Warren Buffett's father asked, what is the one thing that you can attribute your success up to this point? Both of them on the piece of paper wrote focus. Those two people collectively are worth more than the other 16 billionaires that were in that room at the time. So I took that really seriously this year, and I'm being really laser focused on my goals. So that was I freaking failed last year with a lot of my goals, man, and it really upset me. Having like a year-end review, I grew a lot, but I didn't hit my goals. And so this year I'm being a lot more focused with them.
Love it, man. Thank you for sharing, Keith. Really appreciate it. Thank you for sharing the stuff for Warren. That's awesome. And I see a couple of new faces, so like I just want to call on a couple of people later. But before we I guess wrap up, I was on a call for one of the committees I'm on for the NPLA, and the discussion was it sounds like, which let's just keep it, like, take this with a grain of salt. The word on the street in the finance world is that the housing market, we may not feel a pinch or get squeezed nationwide. I think some markets, of course, they're going to feel some pain. But it sounds like the government and all the government-backed companies, maybe like Fannie and Freddie, they are going to do everything they can to stabilize the housing market, because they know that the housing market is a huge sector that drives the economy as a whole, right? And it's because of people like us on this call who, whether you flip houses, you are in control of syndications, and your GPs on some deals that are going to potentially house more people who need housing, because we impact the construction industry and everything that circles real estate, which is escrow, title, landscapers. So they know, like, it's known that the housing market and what we do, people like us who take risks and put up money, to help reposition properties for people to live in, they know how important our space is, and they're going to be doing everything they can to keep the housing market from crashing or from going into a long recession. So let's keep that in mind too, because like I said many times, I was wrong when COVID happened. I thought, there was no way Hawaii's market, at least, was not going to feel or a squeeze in the housing market, but I was wrong. If anything, the market is hotter than ever, but we have to be careful. And then I was thinking, well, it could be, dangerous as well, because it's artificially inflated, and the interest rates are being held really low. So what happens when they start to increase interest rates? But I think some of those concerns were somewhat addressed on the call for me yesterday. And the word is I don't think they're going to do all they can to make sure that we in the housing market industry doesn't collapse or so. Just wanted to share that with you. And then I'm curious because I haven't met Janet yet, I don't think, unless this is the first time I see you, Janet Joseph. You got your camera on, so if you don't mind introducing yourself and telling us what you're up to.
Oh, Janet.
Hi, I work with Keikoa with Integris, and I've been flipping houses for a long time, and then I got my real estate license, and Keikoa took me on with his team, and so I pop on every once in a while on here with you guys, but not too much recently. So
she's a champ. She's a go-getter, and they're amazing. They flip houses incredibly well.
Awesome.
Yeah, I can't find anything right now though. I've been trying, and every time I find one, it books up so fast I can't even get in to look at it. So
yeah,
my time.
Well, I'd say, it's tough now because the market's so hot, so competitive. But I'd say everybody, let's stay disciplined. Let's be savvy investors. Let's not fall into that trap, that bidding war. But yeah, great to have you on, Janet. And I guess that's all I have. Kiko, you have any final words? And if not, maybe we'll have Mr. Alexander take us out.
I'm good, man. Alex, what's happening in California?
Oh, like Will was saying with the other Alex, I think we brought the rain over here because it literally was dumping last night.
Well, it's sunny in Washington State right now, right, Troy? Sunshine, cloud. Nope, that's beautiful. It's a little chilly. It snowed in Vegas, though, 2 days ago when I was there, which was bizarre. I was like, what is going on? But
they keep saying global warming, but I think it's global colding right now from what I'm seeing going on. For us guys, though, look, I mean, I think the call is growing and it's getting better and better, and we're consistently being around, 40 to 50, 60 guests. But something we would really like to do is, like I was mentioning on one of our other calls, is we want to have a bigger impact, and we're only as big as our community allows us to be. So there is no fee for this call. There is no cost to be on this call. But the fee that we're going to start asking is that everybody brings one person with them. You invite one person, you bring one person, and either bring them to the Keiko Exchange group or invite them to be on this call to join us, because the more people we can help educate and leverage, the more people we're going to give the opportunity to, become real estate investors, become financially free, become wholesalers, whatever their passion may be. But I'm sure everybody in here knows one person that we can invite that's not on this call today, or who hasn't been on this call, or who isn't in the Facebook group that could get value from being on this call. So there is no fee, but we do ask before next call, everybody please invite one more person, to join us, because we're only as strong as our network is, and we would like to grow it with your help. And I think we've done a great job so far, but we'd like to go to the next level. So again, thank you for joining us today, and thank you for everybody's input. Keith, that was amazing, you being fully transparent and sharing your goals with us. And anything we can do to help support you, we're all here, we're available. So thanks, guys. We appreciate you. Have a wonderful weekend and look forward to seeing you next Friday.
Thanks, guys. Have a good Friday. I just want to show off my new niece.
Your new niece?
Yeah.
Oh,
nice.
Cute.
Beautiful.
Her name's Winter. And
cool name. That's a
cool
name.
My sister is on the line. She FaceTime me. So I wanted to show it to everybody. Brag about my uncle, or my uncle status.
Corey's in the house.
Part of the why.